This is Off the Break Podcast, presented by Silver Screen Insider.
Welcome back to Off the Break Podcast, your podcast dedicated to current movie theater news, operations, and insights from the people that book the movies. I'm Kyle, and joining me as always is Cody and Ken.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. We are eternally grateful for you this week as we enter another weekend with a Marvel opener.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, another one coming out this weekend.
Well, it did 9 million in Thursday early shows.
Well, James Bond did 312 million on the Thursday show.
What did you think it had done? Or Dune? Was it
or
Dune?
Halloween? I don't remember. It was one of those. I don't know why. Like,
I'm pretty sure this is 9 million.
Can you edit this, Kyle? So anytime I say a number of any sort, it just goes.
It's just my recording over yours.
Yeah.
Ken was
You won't
wrong
notice the
yet
difference in
again.
voice. You won't notice the different
9
pitches
million.
and tone.
Is that our biggest Thursday so far?
No, I think.
What was Venom?
I think Venom was big, but I actually think Black Widow was really big.
Yeah.
But that was in summer. And so kids aren't out of school yet for the holidays. So I never thought that it was going to have just a record-breaking early show on Thursday. But it's, I think, in line with other Marvel movies.
Yeah, it's in the ballpark for sure, and it's a good sign, at least for an opening.
Right.
At least we're playing the same sport here.
Yeah.
Disney had a couple that were interesting with Ron and Last Duel, where you're like, what?
And Antlers.
And Antlers, yes.
Yes.
We had three in a row that were like, are these real movies? Like, did we book these and have showtimes for these?
Antlers, forgotten but not forgotten? Does that count?
It's burned deeply into Kyle's brain.
So yeah, Thursday early shows. Marvel films are always front loaded, so we were expecting a good turnout for that. We're expecting really good Friday numbers today, so I think it's going to be a big weekend. Now, is it going to be an $80 million weekend, which is where people were pegging it? I think it's going to be a $60 million weekend.
Okay. I was thinking more 70.
Okay.
No, this
Middle
is
of the road.
This is a strong coastal film. This is going to be our first $100 million opening.
Wow.
Wow.
That is a hot take.
we need it.
We need it.
No, I'd like to think that this is it, but I think Ghostbusters would be our first $100 million opener.
Wow, I'm not sure
Okay.
about that myself.
I don't think so, but
What?
I liked Ghost.
What?
I don't think the audience is necessarily there.
I think
for
Ghostbusters-
So what's the
is
first
the-
$100 million? I've struck out on this like 7 times.
I don't think
So
we're going to see a $100 million opener
We're not going to
this
see it
year.
with Encanto.
Nope.
No.
We're not
No.
going to see it with this year. Spider-Man.
I don't think Spider-Man.
Venom did.
I know Venom did good in a vacuum by itself, but Spider-Man at
it was an
Christmas has Matrix and it has Scene
It was
and
an
it has
October.
Kingsman.
It wasn't a vacuum. It had Addams Family. It had
like 1 or 2 other films. Christmas is stacked.
Yeah.
Stacked, Ken.
a vacuum.
But
is
Spider-Man
like,
does come out before.
okay,
most
a
of
vacuum
those.
is like
That's
the
true.
vastness of space. This is. It was not in the vastness of space. It wasn't Shang-Chi by itself.
Right.
It had some competition. There were other things going on.
Barely any competition, though. What are we going to... Dear Evan Hansen the week before was...
No, Addams Family was a $14 million opener. That's a solid for
I'm just saying
post-pandemic. That's a solid
one.
opening competition. Yeah, that's like being in outer space and saying, "Hey, there's someone over there." That's not outer space.
Okay.
I just think
in a vacuum.
I just
It
think when you
feels
look
like
at
it was a vacuum.
when you look at the past 2 openings of
You're
the
a
other
vacuum.
of the other Spider-Man movies, we don't get $100 million openings for those. And I'm
Right.
even certain like they both had openings on like Wednesdays, right? Or at least one of them did. So
Well, they're always like a Wednesday before the 4th of July was the last one, I think.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see post-pandemic Spider-Man movie.
here's
even
a real
with
hot
the
take.
big stakes. Doing
I don't
it.
think we'll ever see another $100 million opening.
Get out of here!
Well,
you almost
but-
clicked.
All right.
You were off. You were off by what? One major market with Venom.
I'm just saying. I don't know. If
Get
we'll
out
ever,
of town.
If we'll ever have that again. I would not be surprised.
I will bet you $100 million we'll see that.
Yeah.
You're not betting on our industry.
I just
Get out of this podcast. I
What?
turn off
I'm
your
not saying
microphone.
it.
Get out of here.
I think it's possible, but it's not going to happen immediately.
Remember
At least
who-
at the end of this year, it's
Okay,
not going
I
to
take it
happen.
back. Maybe Top Gun.
Remember who had your back, exhibitors? Kyle and Ken. While Cody took a giant dump on your future.
Stop it.
It's
Okay, I take it back.
We will
Maybe
never,
Top Gun.
We will never have a $100 million opener. Are you out of your mind?
I'll be nice and play devil's advocate because, to be fair, we just have seen changes within audience behavior that doesn't quite warrant $100 million openings, even though we've had good openings over this past year. But $100 million openings are just, that was already kind of tough to begin with.
You two are over here pooping your pants over Batman.
No, that's the $100 million opening. No, it's not. It's not. I know it's not. I've accepted that. But yeah, I mean, as far as it goes for Eternals, I don't know, 70 million seems rather feasible.
I don't think this year for sure we'll have 100. Maybe next year, and maybe with, like I said, Top Gun, Mission. I don't know.
We'll definitely have one. I would like to bet you a torture movie challenge.
No.
Yes.
boy.
Yes. Oh, I feel so strongly about this.
Okay.
Selected by, I'll take.
For the rest of this year or next year?
No, this year.
Okay.
I'll even take off. I'm taking.
What?
I'm gonna do 12-17 openers, and that's it. I don't even need the Matrix. I don't even need that. I want Spider-Man. That's it. Then I'm done.
Okay.
Up to Spider-Man.
All right.
And then I'm gonna make you watch the longest Jimmy Stewart movie. I don't even know what it is, but I'm just gonna find one that has like a 4.5 hour runtime. Was he in Lawrence of Arabia by chance?
If you do
That
a
would be a
Jimmy
torture.
Stewart impersonation, then yes.
I'm gonna have him
one.
come and read you a script for one of his movies.
In
Come back
Jimmy
from the
Stewart's
dead.
voice. I think this is a fun bet. Why not? Let's
do it.
Okay, you're on.
All right.
You're on.
All right. So
I don't know what your torture movie is going to be yet.
It's gonna be what the regular stuff you make me watch
it'll
anyway.
be Batman.
I'm going
It'll
to
be
make you watch the
Batman.
first Twilight. Not any of these CG Twilights. The first one.
The first one?
Yeah.
Not that much CG in that one.
Actually, no, I take it back. That one's probably the best out of them all. I don't want to give you the best
It's
of
the
all
most
the
tolerable.
That's
I
the
assume.
best of them all.
Yeah. Probably.
It goes
probably
downhill. After
Okay,
that.
well, give us
Probably
some.
one of the later ones.
Hit us with some suggestions on
Pregnant Bella,
social media. Yeah,
vampire baby hybrid.
I should actually make you watch Harvey at regular speed.
Oh,
I forgot.
You
About
did watch it at like 2.5 times speed.
Oh, that pains
it was like a
me.
normal movie at that speed.
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you watch it with Kyle at 1 time speed, maybe 3/4
No,
speed.
that's my torture. Don't get me involved.
Can we knock it down to 0.75 speed?
Don't
This
drag
isn't
me
fair.
into
You
this.
can torture me so much more easily with movies than I can torture you.
Yeah, because I'm on the side of films and film exhibitors
No, don't go there.
by saying we're gonna have a $100 million opener this year.
I'm being realistic.
I can't wait.
Don't get anybody's hopes up, Ken.
But this is the great part of the podcast. We have some realism, and then we blow everyone out of the water with our heightened expectations.
Yeah,
And
our,
it's
You're on.
awesome. It's an awesome
our
dynamic.
aggressive back and forth banter while Kyle hides and puts his head underneath the sand in the
Mom
corner.
and Dad are fighting again.
Mom hit Dad at the dinner table. I'm not hungry, but I have to eat.
Terrible.
Okay, let's rein this in. Let's
Okay.
keep going with our regularly scheduled program.
Yeah.
What were we even talking about? All right.
know.
Eternals, Ghostbusters.
That's right. How was Eternals gonna do this weekend? That was the bullet point.
$100 million.
Okay. No.
Man, I hope so, because the reception from Eternals right now, I just don't have a clue.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it had strong Thursday previews, but we haven't heard anything coming out of them.
Yeah, I mean, just at a glimpse, it seems like audience ratings so far are pretty positive. I don't see it like as glaring as like the critics were initially. So
And Walt
Maybe-
Disney is quietly silencing all of the haters.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think audiences could prevail if the word of mouth is as good as these ratings suggest. But I don't know. It's a number. It's a
Yeah.
letter grade. It's always hard to see for sure based off of that if that's the legitimate word of mouth or not.
Well, we do need it to do really well. Like it's gonna carry us through the early part of November, and we need it to have strong legs, and work well until we get to Thanksgiving when we have an infusion with Ghostbusters of some other products.
It's 14 days, and that's all that's new. That's going to do any damage.
There's nothing out on the 12th. So
no,
we need this to hold up 2 solid weeks. Then we've got Ghostbusters, which we know, as you saw at CinemaCon, it's there. It's going to have great word of mouth. I don't think Ghostbusters is going to open particularly big, but I think it will have such good word of mouth that it'll sustain through December.
Yeah, Eternals is going to pass Shang-Chi for the highest grossing film of the year. I'm excited about this. You guys got to get on board.
Okay.
I'll get on board on that part, I guess, but not the $100 million.
Let's wait till we hear what Kyle's review is first before we start making predictions.
Nope, I'm on it.
Because I'm the voice of the people, obviously.
I'm just gonna be beep over here with my ears plugged. I don't care what it is.
Some other titles around Thanksgiving. We've got Iconic Events, which is an alternative event company, has what is it? Lindsay Sterling. I don't know if anybody's familiar with her. She's a violinist that does really fun music videos, and she's going to be touring North America, and she has a concert video out, I think on that Saturday or Sunday, the 28th. Mm-hmm. So Iconic's doing an event there. And then that early part in December 1st and 2nd, we still have the Chosen Christmas event, and that's through Fathom.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing that Fathom is going to allow the theaters to play it beyond December 1st and 2nd. But Fathom, the way they work is they bookend or get an exclusive corridor for their events. Because these are events. These are higher ticket price. They're over the Fathom network. You have to be signed up with Fathom to play them at this time. And so be looking to see if Chosen isn't going to stick in those Fathom event theaters longer and not go to being self-distributed after that. We're hearing that if it does go to being self-distributed, it'll probably be more like the 19th that it might be available after December 19th, which just puts it, right in line with being available after Spider-Man and before all of the offerings on the 22nd. And so I don't know if you're going to have room in the theater to play it then. I think the best time is that early part in December, and that's kind of when Fathom has that exclusive window on it. So Chosen's turning out to be kind of a tough thing because there's a lot of interest in it. I am hearing a lot of these events are sold out already, that now that they get to expand, I'm hearing that some circuits that are doing these are thousands of dollars are being already pre-sold for these events. So there is apparently quite a big following for this TV show, and there's a lot of interest in this movie.
Oh, it's a TV show?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea. Yeah. I just thought it was only a movie, but that's cool.
Yeah, no, I think it's a TV show.
Gotcha.
And
You're a TV show.
Yeah.
You're a vacuum. Isn't that what you said earlier?
Yeah, no, I totally got her.
Yeah. Roasted.
Ding.
Anyway, it's a TV show. Who knew?
Right.
Not me.
And then I think there's some fights too in November.
We've got UFC this weekend.
Yeah. Then there's a wrestling competition.
Wrestling competition?
I don't know what you call it.
Match?
A wrestling shindig, if you will.
A wrestling match, a wrestling event.
A production of wrestling happening next weekend on the 13th.
Yeah, AEW has one through Joe Hand Promotions that's going on next weekend. And then during this time of year, they really load up on pay-per-view. So you'll be seeing those coming up for more UFCs. And I don't know if there's any major boxing matches upcoming because we kind of went through them already for the year. There may be some in very late December.
Right.
Usually run one around New Year's Eve, but
it's been hard to kind of fit all these alternative things in because the screens are so filled up with movies right now, and this has always been the dilemma with alternative content. Theaters have been begging for alternative content, but it just comes at different and inopportune times sometimes.
The worst timing.
Yeah, like the Lindsay Sterling thing sounds amazing, but it's a Sunday night, like on Thanksgiving weekend, and you don't think your screens aren't going to be taken up by the 3 new films coming out on the 24th?
it's that, and then there's this little known thing that happens on Sunday nights called Sunday Night Football, which is the highest rated programming in the history of television every weekend.
Yeah.
Every Sunday, it's like, oh yeah, they had a record number of viewers. And it doesn't matter who's playing because it's on Sunday night.
Yeah, nobody's going out. They're not going to go. A lot of theaters are even closed on Sundays because people just stay home and get ready for their week the next week.
It's the day of rest.
Yeah. So it's just trying to get these events in so that theaters can promote them and fight for them is hard when they're just at inopportune times, because these industries that are bringing this stuff like wrestling and fighting, and they also are looking for the prime media nights, which are Friday and Saturday nights. And so that just coincides with entertainment nights in general, and so there's a clash on those nights. I wish in a perfect world those fights and things would happen on other nights of the week and we could spread entertainment through the whole week, but that's not what we're finding.
Wrestling Wednesdays.
Yeah.
From Wrestling Productions, huh?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Also known as Monday Night Raw, which has been around for like 35 years.
Right.
I'm not even a wrestling guy and I know this. Like,
Well, then
put it on Monday freaking night.
Yeah. Perfect. I would
People
have
don't
fit
like
it. I would
Monday
have
Night
fit it
Football.
in.
Well, there's this thing called the off season, Kyle.
Well,
Wrestling is no, I'm not going to do it. I'll call Cody a vacuum, but I will not say anything more about wrestling.
those are the people you really have to watch out for.
Yeah,
They're ruthless.
I'm not scared of Cody, but I am scared of wrestling fans.
Know where you sleep at night.
Because they know how to wrestle too. So
Should be afraid of me. That was not a threat. I was just stating fact.
That's not a threat. Cody, trademark, Cody Incorporated.
yeah. Okay, where were we again? Yeah,
so,
wrestling.
So yeah, I'm thinking that Thanksgiving is going to be a very lucrative weekend. I think it's going to be completely led by Ghostbusters. That's going to be the huge one. And Kanto, I think, is going to be coming in second. That's going to seal the deal for the families. But we have Resident Evil and we have Gucci, and both of those are rated R, and so that's going to be a little tough sell. I mean, I would like to see more PG-13 films over a holiday weekend, but Lady Gaga's got great social media presence, and I think House of Gucci is going to get a lot of marketing pushed behind it. Mm-hmm. Resident Evil has a smaller print count, so you're just not going to see it as widely distributed. They're really going to target the areas where that's going to do well. It's just hard to do horror over Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean, it'll only get that small fan base to begin with, and I think they already knew that anyway.
Probably, and they accounted for that. So that's probably a smart move on Sony's part with that, limiting that print count.
Yeah, I think so. As long as they make their money back in the first 3 weeks or so,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably going to be good enough for them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they really don't have very much room to work with. They just have that early part in December, because then we'll have Matrix and Kingsman and
Yeah, no room to work with, but could have used you in September. Could use you in January.
That really looks nice about now.
Don't they have Morbius in January?
At the end
of it. It's
end.
basically
Okay.
February.
It's basically February.
Yeah.
We'll get to Morbius later.
She says with a grin.
Okay.
Snorbius.
Oh, stop it.
Why did I laugh hard at that?
Another thing.
Are you Shorbius?
Another thing that is out there are Sing 2 and American Underdog early screenings. So these are one-time screenings happening a couple weeks before the films come out. And we're getting a lot of requests for them, especially Sing 2, because who wouldn't want a sneak peek of Sing 2? I think it's over the Thanksgiving weekend, but these screenings were very limited. They were in pre-selected locations only, and we weren't able to even request locations be found. Universal came to us, so they had those pretty much locked down on pre-selected locations, which is unfortunate. Wish we could all have a shot at it, but
it is, but
makes it exclusive.
Makes it exclusive, and they are selecting locations that have their shiz together when it comes to this. They're not worried
That's
about
true.
showtimes getting messed up, extra tickets being sold, people, theaters and chains that are doing it by the book and know how to run things like this.
Yeah.
Because this isn't new, but this is, a big deal. This is the first time we've had these A titles since coming back.
It's the first time to have early screenings since the pandemic.
Since the pandemic, yes.
Yeah. So be on the lookout for those. They are, like I said, pre-selected locations. We didn't really get much of a shot at them in too many places, but they're there, and just be aware of them. Okay, what else we got? Kyle, Eternals review. I'm ready. How was it?
It's a mixed bag. I will say right off the bat, what I appreciate about Eternals was that it's not within the brand guidelines of a typical Marvel movie. It does very much feel like, despite having, references to the events of Endgame and that sort of thing, that it's filmed in a way to where it feels more grand and it feels outside of the brand identity that the Marvel movies usually have gone about. And while I do like that they were trying to film in a different way, so that way the scope of the plot feels grand, like the characters feel larger than life, characters that are so powerful that we've never seen before with these beings called the Eternals. It also was so self-serious to where I just was not entertained by the characters at all.
So it's like the DC of the Marvel universe?
That is a pull quote that people can use if they want to. But I'm not comparing it to DC, but it very much wasn't exciting, despite the premise of, these godlike beings being like the next big superhero team. They should be exciting, but it very much became a movie that was so self-serious in its plot and its characters that it just kind of became dull to me. And it also didn't help that the movie, while I liked that it was at a slower pace, so that way it kind of gives time for us to be with these characters in the moment, but it also was just way too slow of a pace to where I was even more bored, on top of being bored by the characters that I'm watching, who they all feel like they have the same characteristics outside of two of them. They all were very sullen and serious, and it just wasn't entertaining. Like, it's okay to have its dark moments, it's okay to have, serious characters, but I feel like that it should still pick up in moments. Like, I should still want to be engaged with these characters and with this cool concept and story, but it just didn't quite work. It just wasn't a good pairing between how they filmed this movie and the direction that they wanted to take it versus, giving us good characters first and foremost. So, yeah, I did appreciate that they were trying to go out there into making something different, but it just didn't stick the landing for me because I didn't like the characters, and the pacing of the movie really was more costly than it was supposed to be.
Okay, I have a couple questions. How was this, sex scene that Marvel introduced? I mean, we barely get kisses, and all of a sudden they just dove into the bed. How was that, jarring, or
a little bit?
Oh, well, say it slowly. Do it with your sultry voice, Kyle.
Yeah.
Tell us how this played out. Was there anything eternal about it?
You're totally embarrassing, Kyle.
I know, that's what I'm going for here. That's not why I'm not looking at him.
Because he's turning all red.
I am turning all red. It very much was more than I thought it was going to be. I was expecting them to kiss, and then there's subtle hints of
camera shies away and you just know what happened.
Yeah, exactly. But they actually went for it to where you could tell they were half naked, at least at the top part, and then they just did the thing. You could just tell it was happening in the moment, and it was odd.
That's weird. That's
yeah.
Ease the people into it, Marvel.
I mean,
I think they were maybe a few more kisses in the movies. We don't need to go full in.
Yeah, we just wanted to know that couples kissing stuff.
Actually liked each other.
Yeah. And I get what they were trying to go for. I guess they're trying to be, maybe more serious, more adult, trying to show that they can do that sort of thing, but I don't know. I think you don't need to go too far, and for the context of the story and those two characters specifically, it makes sense, but it was a bit jarring. It was a bit weird.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How was Kumail Nanjiani. Did we get to see his buff bod in
Yes.
this?
Yes.
Oh, there's a reason he got fit.
Yeah. No, he was probably one of my favorite characters because he wasn't the one that was always so self-serious and gloomy. Like he was trying to like be the spark to get a laugh or two.
Right.
And it was fine. Like it wasn't jarring or it wasn't, like the jokes weren't terrible, but you can just tell like in that there was a moment of levity and then we had to go back to being sad and the characters were just like I was saying, just more of a bummer than they probably needed to be. Like there's such a thing as being too self-serious.
Right. Well, and that's a bummer that you get a good comedian like Kumail Nanjiani that can be not over the top, but can play slapstick, can play like sarcastic humor, can play dry, and is still really, really funny. But he sounds like he's put in this film with a bunch of wet blankets and.
Yeah, that's about right. I mean, he still had his own.
We're going to talk about the sex scene and then say wet blankets. Come on, Cody. Oh my God. It's wildly inappropriate. No,
Be
this is
professional.
It's
Oh my God.
it's the same director that did Nomadland with that.
Merkin?
Yeah, with that very uncomfortable nude scene that very. I can't imagine anyone watching and then saying anything other than "Really? We got to look at this, really?"
Yeah.
And then she does it to Marvel.
I will say Nomadland did it better.
Oh.
Did it better. Not in
That's a
that
hot
way.
take.
Not in that way. You animals.
They did it better on their wet blankets. Oh my God. You guys got to tone it down. We're getting off track here today. So
Now knowing all that, Ken, does it still sound like it's $100 million film?
globally, $100 million. I'm just kidding. I'm
We've
hopeful.
had that global added in there.
I'm just gonna do what the film companies do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do what Deadline does.
We totally meant global.
Go, and it's only been 20 minutes. I'm like, globally opening. No, I've got high hopes for it. I mean, the biggest selling point on this film is the fact that it is the most diverse version of a Marvel film we've seen so far.
Yes.
So the representation is going to be part of it, and we thought that could be a negative as far as the box office goes when Shang-Chi came out, because a lot of unknown actors weren't sure. I mean, from the trailer, it showed a different film than the film did. It was
Right.
They were
I don't
quite
think
a bit
the
different.
Shang-Chi trailer was good at all.
No, but
he
this
looked like a wet blanket.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing interesting about that character.
But this has some star power, some interest.
Because you don't really know what they are.
Yeah, so I'm hopeful that this could
Curiosity factor.
creep up to that number, and then that encourages everybody that hasn't seen anything yet that saw this to go to the next movie, to go to the Ghostbusters, to go to Encanto, to go to something. Give it a shot.
Can I ask? Is this a spoiler? Is what's her name? The Ajax character. Is she gonna be bad? Is she gonna be a baddie?
Salma Hayek?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
No.
Because I thought in the comics that she decides that the Avengers aren't good and that the Eternals start to go after them. And I was
Nerd
like,
alert.
Oh, even I have no idea.
Okay. Never mind then.
But no.
Just
no.
wondering.
No, Salma Hayek's good.
Okay. Is Angelina Jolie okay in it? Because I don't want to see it because of her. Because I think she's just...
Is she okay or is her character okay?
Is her character okay? Is she in it a lot?
No, her character's not okay.
Oh.
You can take that for what you will, but no.
Darn it. Okay.
Salma Hayek is a global treasure, Cody.
No, I
even
just...
if she is the bad person, she's the good person.
We'll root for her.
We'll root for her. If she pulls the whole Thanos thing and except goes, everyone should die.
Was kind of
we'll
hoping.
Be like, yeah, I get it.
I was kind of hoping she turned into the big bad in the series because I thought that would be awesome because she would be so good at that. But doesn't sound like that's gonna happen. That's okay. That's just my little fandom wanting to change it. But anyways, okay. Eternals. So not terrible, not stellar.
It's not stellar. I would definitely say that there's worse. Well, I would definitely say like there's Marvel movies that I don't want to go back to, and I would probably rather go back to this one just to, I don't know, just for the appreciation of it being so different from all of the somewhat generic material that we've kind of gotten over the past few years. But
What's one you don't want to go back to?
Captain Marvel, that's probably one.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was even one. I was thinking, for me, mine is Endgame. I don't like Infinity War. I don't like Endgame.
Yeah.
I don't like the third one, Civil War. I don't like that one either.
No, that one's great.
I don't like that one.
You're picking like the wrong movie.
I don't like Age of Ultron.
You can't dive in like
There's
these
so
are.
many I would not go back to.
Did you ever like this?
I've been in
franchise?
the process of rewatching these, and the pacing on these movies is incredible. Like from one scene to the next, like it just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds. And then, and then the movie ends, and you're like, where can I spend my next $100 at the theater? Because it just builds this. And I mean, nobody gets the opportunity to spend 20 hours on a motion picture screen to build a universe like this.
It's true.
In the Avengers
would go
realm
back
since the first
to
one.
Captain America, the first one.
Of course.
That's my ultimate favorite. Doctor Strange. I liked that
Okay,
one.
yeah.
That's been one I've rewatched several times.
Eric Bana's Incredible Hulk.
Iron
That
Man.
counts.
the first Iron Man.
Yeah, terrific.
I think I like their origin stories. I tend to lean towards
That was the
more.
first. That was the first movie you and I collected grosses for together. Was the original Iron Man.
Aww. So there you go. There's a memory
Back when they used to
attached.
call them in, and then you'd have to listen to the voicemails, and one person would yell them out, and the other person would type them into the spreadsheet.
Yeah, I got really good
Oh,
at
God.
being able to, because I'm right-handed, being able to type with my left hand, number type with my left hand, and click with my right going down. It was a
good
skill that I
skill.
can't even use anymore.
We got lots of practice working together, and I got lots of practice getting yelled at for enunciate.
Yeah. Was that a 5 or 6? Really late Sunday nights.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is the woman of my dreams right here. I'll spend the rest of my life with her.
Oh, and the rest is history. Now they're still yelling at each other and making their coworkers uncomfortable.
We work so well together.
They really do, guys. I promise.
Speaking of working well together, how did Jared Leto's face and vampire makeup go together?
As perfectly as you think it would.
I'm actually really excited for this. I tell you why. I don't know if I love Jared Leto, but I
It's
think
okay if you don't.
but I
he
think
was
that,
great in Suicide Squad 1.
Yeah, he was. I loved him in Suicide Squad.
You loved him in Suicide Squad?
Yeah,
Oh,
perfect
Cody.
Joker.
He won an Academy Award.
I don't think I've seen anything else with him, so that's my point
You
of
most
reference.
definitely haven't.
So, but this
No, because
character,
the other ones are good movies that he actually acts in.
but this character at least looks different and interesting. I like the little Venom callback in the trailer where he's like, "What's your name?" and he's like, "Venom." No, just joking. I thought that was just fun. This movie
It's
looked
fun as he threatens to eat this
scary.
guy.
Looked scary and
Oh,
fun.
that guy.
And I like the anti-hero
Yeah.
part of it. So it just felt like a new flavor. And I was ready for it.
Honestly, I think most audiences really care how this connects to like Spider-Man No Way Home over this being like an actual movie. You know what I mean? Like I feel like
Is that a thing? Do they connect?
it's possible. I don't know.
You
Well,
think they're going to build
obviously,
3
he's in
different
the-
franchises and then not put them together?
In the same, I guess Venom.
Sony,
It's
yeah.
in the same universe.
Yeah, they're all. It doesn't matter if they're in the same universe, Cody. They will put them together. They will invent time travel and space travel and
They're
put
gonna-
them together.
They're going to take those puzzle pieces that clearly don't connect at all and
Yeah.
they're just going to smash them together until it
Yeah.
works.
Well, it's either
Okay.
going to be the multiverse of madness is going to bring this all together, or the Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland will bring all this together.
3, but yes.
Isn't it? No,
No
not
Way
this
Home,
one,
right?
Not this one. I meant another one.
Oh, I
Another
just
one
assumed.
down the road.
No, they're going to wait. No, this one is going to be.
Is
The
Tom
third one,
Holland going to be in another Spider-Man?
the third
after
one's
this?
supposed to have multiverse stuff.
Yeah,
saying.
just a glimpse.
Well, okay, 5.
It's gonna have
Details.
a dash. It's instead of multiverse, they'll have maybe verse. It's gonna show you.
But
Maybe some spinning orb where he can see Tobey Maguire actually being Spider-Man.
But when it comes to Morbius, the actual movie, yeah, it looks good. I actually kind of like it more than the first trailer that came back in, 1989? Feels that long ago. Whenever it came out, but...
Last year sometime, I think.
Yeah, I guess. I just appreciated it looking different.
I'm pretty sure it was pre-pandemic that we had, like,
Probably.
a teaser of it. Like, it was one of those that was close.
Right, because you didn't see his face.
Yeah, it was on the cusp that we were going to have Morbius summer of 2020.
Right.
Or
I would
fall
think.
of 2020.
Yeah, and
knows?
Maybe Venom was probably, like, summer.
Yeah, Venom was summer.
That
and
sounds
this was
right.
After.
Yeah. But I think Sony's not going to move the date. They're starting to market it. So
Well,
we're
putting this out there in the universe,
perhaps
Sony. You think
90 days
Sony,
out, so I think we're...
You think Sony's not going to move this?
No.
They moved
Wednesday
Venom,
opening.
They moved Venom 4 weeks ahead,
I know.
and then they moved it back. Cody, you think they're not going to move it? 2 weeks out, they moved it 4 weeks out, and then brought it back
1 week.
2
Different,
weeks.
yeah.
Just a nightmare mess. You think they're not?
Well, my
That's
hope is
you want to
that...
bet that Sony doesn't move it?
No.
let's have another Jimmy Stewart bet. Yeah!
I don't feel like torturing myself on this.
Any movie, even that has Sony anywhere near it, filmed on the Sony lot, and I will take those odds.
Okay, you're probably right. I was just hoping with them starting to market that...
No, I agree. I hope so
that
too.
It was sticking.
Venom?
It was starting to get sticky in its position.
Now, sticky. After
Yeah,
we're talking
I was
about an
gonna
eternal
say,
sex
wet
scene, now
blanket,
let's talk about sticky stuff.
I was
Stop
wondering...
bringing that up.
I'm
I was wondering
not.
who's gonna get
We're
that.
not. We're not bringing it up at all. You just keep going right back.
You make it sound so bad.
Oh, geez. Ken, do you have any thoughts at all about Morbius?
Just Snorbius. No, I don't care. Jared Leto is just going to overact through this whole thing. He doesn't know how to play the hero or the anti-hero. He's not. He's no Tom Hardy. Tom Holland's not even a real Spider-Man. Baby Spider-Man.
He's kind of a baby Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Still. I know he's supposed to be an adult, but
I mean,
It's
Tobey
just
Maguire
hard.
was trying it out. He was trying to figure it out before
Right.
anybody else was really doing the whole, like, I'm a superhero through multiple movies thing.
He was the first. He got away with it. It's
Andrew
fine.
Garfield looked like an older,
No.
like a young 20-something Spider-Man.
Andrew
I
Garfield,
believed that.
No. Go back and rewatch The Amazing Spider-Man 2. It is one of the best standalone superhero movies that we've had.
Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Yes, it is incredible.
Oh, Ken. That's
Rewatch it.
That's almost as bad as
No.
her Suicide Squad.
No, it's
take.
No, not even close.
Well, maybe I will need to go back and rewatch
Was there a
it, 'cause
character called Killer Croc? No, they did that in The Amazing Spider-Man 1. They got rid of him before they got into number 2.
They got it out of there.
And Jamie freaking Foxx.
I do like Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, everybody loves a little Jamie Foxx.
It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, what are we talking about? Morbius? Yeah, that's the new big trailer that came out this week.
Nope, we're excited. We have Eternals. We haven't talked about French Dispatch because we're not sure what kind of movie it is.
Oh yeah. No, I will
Is expanding
mention
this week.
that on each of its expansions, it did really well. So I expect a lot out of it this weekend. They didn't go super wide. I did get it in a few places, but I picked it in places where I knew that type of film would fit. It's definitely not super commercial. It's not for everywhere, but it looks so good. And in the places that it works, I think it's going to work really well. Like, I think people are ready for that kind of film right now. So I'm excited for that, to see what that one does this weekend too.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what that looks like because the upset of the week is going to be that in my top 5 movies of all time, Wes Anderson's Steve Zissou is in my top 5. Cause like Predator and Steve Zissou are in the same top 5 list.
I appreciate the diversity.
No,
That might be the hottest take on here. We've had a whole bunch on this episode.
No, that movie put together end to end is excellent.
All right.
And so I'm hopeful that this, with even more of the same, with you get Frances McDormand on top of the Steve Zissou bring back cast.
Now I know what you're doing.
I know. If this one has a jaguar shark, I'm gonna poop my pants.
Well, on that note, I think I can sign us out, right?
That's
On
right.
that bombshell.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of the podcast. You can find us on all podcast platforms and over at silverscreeninsider.com. Where if you're a theater owner or manager needing updated and accurate film information for all the upcoming releases and the marketing assets that go along with them, check us out there.
Go see Eternals. Go see French Dispatch. Have a good weekend.
Bye, everyone.
Cody, you don't have to say have a good weekend. We know the people in Eternals did it.
Yeah.
Okay, leave it alone. We know they had a good night too.
They had a really good weekend.
Bye, everybody.